And this panel will be moderated by the Chief Marketing Officer of Bean Crypto, Vugar Adigozalov. So I'll invite him on the stage. So he'll introduce you, our panelists now. Please welcome Mr. Vugar Adigozalov. Merhabalar.
In Istanbul, and thank you for my lovely colleague Elise, who was talking about very important topic of creators. And I think today we'll continue this discussion with two of my co-panelists in this beautiful setting, and we will be discussing about Metaverse and how Metaverse is about to change our life, or whether it's going to change our life or it's just a bubble to be burst. And today we have with me Tuhu Nugraha, who is the head of Indonesian blockchain and Metaverse organization, and is one of the beautiful scientists and researchers who published books on the Metaverse topic, and I think we'll have a very interesting discussion today. Please welcome Tuhu. How are you? And also we have a very much local expert joining us, who is Seyhan Canyakan, Professor Doctor, who will be joining us as a founder of Seyhan, talking about the Musicverse.
Merhaba.
Cool. Let's jump straight into it. Metaverse, I think this is one of the hot topics of today, and we all were thinking about where it's taking us. And while preparing for this session, I was reading a research by Accenture, almost all big consultancy companies, and the estimate shows that it can become like 13 trillion business by 2030. And also digital assets traded today is around like $54 billion. At the start of this session, Tuhu and Serkan, I wanted to ask you, do you believe in Metaverse? Is it something real, or it's just a hype that we all talk and discuss? And like, where are we at when we talk about Metaverse?
Dear Vugar, as I mentioned in our prior panel conversation, I can talk for hour about my expertise in Metaverse and our topic in my native language. However, our time is limited, and this is my first experience testing my English speaking skills. So I apologize for any mistakes I may make while attempting to compensate for them.
By the way, I speak fluent Turkish. If you need help, just let me know.
Maybe if I can, it can be this hard. I can talk Turkish. I don't think the answer to this question can be explained by simply choosing one of the two options you provided. This is because Metaverse can be considered both a form of virtual reality and a tangible business opportunity. Metaverse is a platform where people can interact digitally, create virtual worlds, and engage in activities similar to those in real life. Therefore, Metaverse is not just a gaming or virtual reality platform, but a business model that can offer opportunities in many industries. For example, commercial transaction and advertisement carried out in Metaverse can bring a new dimension to the digital marketing industry. Additionally, Metaverse can be used in various sectors such as education, healthcare, tourism, and real estate. People can come together digitally in virtual world to experience learning. Virtual technologies can be used to aim treatment in the healthcare sector, and people can virtually explore homes in the real estate sector. They can do their daily shopping in a virtual market and have their purchase delivered to their homes. However, it should be noted that the full potential of Metaverse has not yet been discovered, and concrete business model has not been fully developed. Nevertheless, you said in your question, Facebook and the other technology companies have realized the potential of Metaverse and are making significant investment in this field. For example, as Sozi, we are investing in our music Metaverse project. These investments can be considered as an indicator that Metaverse opportunity in the future. The music industry can also provide billion-dollar opportunities in Metaverse, but no one did know this, I think. But with the creation of virtual worlds and interactive experience, thanks to these features, it can offer many opportunities for the music. You know, I'm a pianist and art man. So you are asking to me some question, but I can give in art paradigm. So sorry for this. Maybe you will ask general question, but I can take to it art.
But that's the reason of today's discussion. I have kind of a yes or no question. Like as a person who is heavily investing in Metaverse and doing something for music and entertainment industry, do you believe that Metaverse is a billion-dollar opportunity for you and for your company, or you are still hesitant and exploring this blue ocean kind of a setup?
I think I believe this.
You think, or do you believe?
I believe.
I love when we talk about Web3 and Metaverse. We always talk about how this entire ecosystem should revolutionize the way we interact with the technology as humans and the way machines interact with each other. Tuhu, you research Metaverse, and I have a question. When we talk about Metaverse, what's one single most important thing we need to focus? Okay. What should be a key topic? Is it about disrupting retail? Is it about fashion? Is it about entertainment? Or what is this core building? For example, when we talk about cryptocurrencies, all topics, discussions move towards Bitcoin, right? Yeah. Or layer one, different chains. What is the core building block of the Metaverse?
Okay, I think the building block from the Metaverse is very interesting because last year I worked with the Indonesian government. We wanted to build a piloting for public service project in Metaverse. So one thing that we talk about mostly is how Metaverse can give solution that Web2 right now cannot do. For example, the real life experience, your real things. And the thing that we finally found that the most relevant for right now, and then people can see what's the difference is through the education, especially with the Indonesian context. Education with remote area, with different kind of infrastructure, Metaverse will help a lot. And what I like another things about the Metaverse is about inclusivity, because people don't really care about social interaction in Metaverse. I can do this and that. They don't feel it. But if you can offering something, for example, the one thing that for me is very good, for example, you have a very inclusive. For example, I cannot go hiking for a mountain. For example, if you have a disability, for example. But with the Metaverse, people can have this experience, even though physically they don't have to be there. That's something that we must communicate to the audience. So what Metaverse needs right now is the real solutions that Web2 cannot offer, so people will believe in that. We cannot give something that's too revolutionary. For example, you will go with your avatar and talking with your friend with the avatar. People won't believe in that because they think I still can go with your friends and I can talk with them. It's not very significant with them. For us, why education? Because that's what. It will be very costly. Costly to do that. And we can engage more people with this Metaverse with the same real experience. For the B2B industry, I already see it, a lot of companies already do it for what they are doing. It's for risk management and risk mitigation. It will be make sense for the industry player because it will be cheaper, faster, and then no more risk. For example, you want to do training for your employees, new employees, they are from everywhere, and then sometimes they will do a lot of human error with the Metaverse. They can get the real experience with almost zero risk, and then very, very low cost. I think it will be good news and good deal for the industry people.
That's great. Recently I was browsing Forbes and I came across this very important article about Web3 gateway and how to onboard users from Web2 to Web3. Yeah. And the article was featuring a Web3 gateway called POP that's aiming to onboard next billion users from Web2 to Web3 by becoming community of the communities and giving both creators but also consumers the chance to monetize the attention and build everything into this big incentive model. And also, Pop's CEO, I saw him today in the audience with us, Michael is here. I have a question regarding this. Like, there are a lot of ventures that are tackling this onboarding journey of the users, bringing them from Web 2 to Web 3 and becoming this community of the communities. When we talk about the Metaverse and Web 3, is the Web 3 is a bigger term that covers Metaverse, or shall we think of Metaverse as a big mother topic that has a Web 3 inside? Like, how do we distinguish these two?
Yeah, I think this is quite interesting, and I think it's still like debate upon this part, right? Because one side people say like, okay, Web 3 is bigger, and then the Metaverse itself will be part of that. You must Metaverse must be with the Web 3 because we need transparency, decentralization, and everything. But other people will say that Metaverse is about the AR, VR, the human experience, and it doesn't have to be decentralized. Because I'm still also waiting for what will happen. Because in the end, like I think I also followed the discussion before, like the exploitation, what I call it, quote unquote, of data from users is the most mainstream business model right now. And then I'm still questioning how we can make money out of that. Because if we don't find anything new, how to creating money, because business needs money. And I don't know if the customer actually ready for paying on something, subscription-based or something like that. And then, of course, the big industry player also don't want to give it just directly, okay, let's go with the decentralization because, and blah, blah, blah. It's a very long journey because we must understand that this is a technology, but this is another people, the guy who will control, who have the influence in the society, who gave that. If it will be connected, how we can find the balance between this one. And I think for me, it's still questionable and still the mystery and how it will be evolving in the next future years.
Seyhan, I had a question for you as someone who is so much into music industry, and compared to fashion, for example, music industry is one of the well-regulated where composers and performers are able to collect their royalties much better than ones in all the other industries out there. When we talk about music, entertainment industry altogether and Metaverse, is it more about like regulation and having this fair share of profits and supporting creators, as I gave the example of pop where they were like focusing more on how to help creators to have this fair share of ownership, not only like making money, but like entire ownership of their portfolio. When we talk about Metaverse, is it more about creators and empowering them, or it is about giving an immersive experience to the end user? And where is that blur line comes into action, making a Metaverse next billion-dollar opportunity, or whether it does? Because if we talk about like ownership, NFTs can basically solve this issue, right, without jumping into that huge stage and building all these hardware, software kind of an industry. Like, what's your take on that?
Okay, now first I wanted to say something. When I look at all these participants, I am happy to see such intelligent and successful people interested in this field. However, among so many people, I may be the only one interested in music technology and one of the rare people who wants to bring music to life in the Metaverse, especially in Turkey. The reason for my rarity may be that either music is not sustainable field in this area, and no one is entering this field, or it is such a difficult field that no one wants to enter it. However, my partner Oswald in America now, and I want to take on the challenge and strive to be one who bring attention to blockchain in the field of music. When I come to your question's answer, what set Musicverse apart from other music applications is its use of blockchain and Web3 technologies to provide interactive music experiences. Designed as a completely digital metaverse, Musicverse allows users to interact with each other, create music, and participate in live music events together. Musicverse's music tokenization, you asked, it aims to provide new value to both artists and users. Tokenizing assets used on the platform gives owners control and ownership rights. This helps artists secure their works and make it available to a wider audience, while also giving user the opportunity to purchase and trade assets. Okay, Musicverse integration into the music metaverse includes many features that offers users a digital entertainment experience. Users can dance in virtual clubs, create their own music, and interact with other users. The platform is music-focused. This is important. Unlike the other metaverse applications, allowing users to be in a customized environment for creating and exploring music. Musicverse is an ideal platform for users who want to be more involved in music creation. Additionally, it aims to solve problems in the music industry using Web3 technology, while helping to address concern about copyright issues and fair payment for artists in the music industry. Musicverse provides users with a more free experience. Blockchain technology has potential revolutionization the music industry by providing a secure and transparent platform for music right management, copyright and recording process. Okay, you know, and we know this, but with the use of blockchain, the music industry can overcome some of the long-standing challenges in inefficiency in these areas. For example, one of the most significant challenges that music industry faces is music right management. The complex web of rights and ownership in the music industry has often resulted in disputes, errors, and inefficiencies. With blockchain technology, music rights and ownership can be recorded in a transparent and immutable manner, providing a single search of truth that can eliminate dispute and reduce transaction cost. I think I can say now this. Maybe after your question, I can say intermediaries, because in the music sector, intermediaries is a big problem. Blockchain can solve. We can eliminate intermediaries in traditional music industry with blockchain technology.
That's great. The panel before, moderated by Julia, was discussing very important topics about like a gamification and onboarding users to the game. And some statistics show that like only in last year there were like more than 20,000 like AR, VR devices that were sold. And it's not a secret that like Facebook previously, now Meta is heavily investing on hardware in order to build that immersive experiences in order to empower the way we consume the content on the metaverse. And talking about like how blockchain technology in itself can change all these, eliminate intermediaries and make sure that there's like a fair share of distribution. But like, what do you think, Seyhan, like the industry itself as a metaverse, would it change the way we consume the content, or do we consume the entire metaverse, what it stands for, or how that hardware part comes into the play? Maybe when we talk about, for example, I'm based in London, and one of the hit shows now is like ABBA's hologram concerts and all this technology that has motion capturing in behind. Maybe, like, do you believe that, like, even though blockchain technology in itself has all the capacity to disrupt industry in one angle, the metaverse still has a place to play, or do you believe that blockchain technology is just enough itself?
Dear Azur, our perspective on the metaverse is to be able to hold thousands of people in the same system at the same time during an event. Okay, hardware is problem, you said. Maybe hardware is expensive all over the world, but it's not problem for us. Maybe later in the future, in this hardware will be cheap. We will wait. But let's imagine a concert experience. How many people are in a concert hall today? Can you say me?
Maybe, I don't know, it depends. I think Taylor Swift sold like millions of tickets in 1 second.
But
Every stadium will have around like 60,000 people, I guess. Yeah.
60,000. Okay, I can say the largest halls in Turkey, 1,000 to 3,000 people, meaning you can reach a maximum of 3,000 people simultaneously during a concert. However, from our perspective, in a concert held in the Metaverse universe, we are talking about maybe about a technology that can reach even 100,000 people simultaneously. Imagine being able to freely roam in the concert venue and even approach the artists on the platform in the same time. All of people, 100,000 people is on the platform. They are looking to artists. Artist is singing and playing guitar or piano, but you are watching in the platform, in the metaverse. Now, if you are a stadium concert and there are thousands of people in front of you, you have to make a lot of effort to see artists on stage because the other people's here. You can't see anything. You are far from the artists. Now, here, SOZI aims to overcome all these negative factors and provide thousands of people with the same concert experience simultaneously. Vugar, can you tell me the last concert ticket you went to?
Oh, I'm actually a big concert goer. I just recently been to Lady Gaga, and it was amazing.
Okay, tickets for very famous violins last week came to Izmir, who recently came to Turkey, was $75. A family of 3 persons should spend around $200 in Turkey to attend this concert. This is expensive for a family. Now, what if I told you that you could watch this concert for $1 and listen to artists up close? Yeah. We believe that all of these possibilities can be made possible through the Metaverse. Metaverse technology can create a huge revolution in entertainment industry like this. Musicverse is like this, and we want to do this in SOZI.
Tuhu, I have a question for you. Like listening to this conversation, do you believe that like paying $100 for a real concert, like with a live singer, can be substituted for $1 Metaverse concert? And what will make it different than opening a TV or any streaming platform and watching that?
Okay, that's a good question. Actually, I'm not a very big fan of concert, but I see like a lot of people very love the concert, and I search why they love the concert. It's not only about the music. The music right now, of course, you can do it through the Spotify and everything. That's like what I would do. But the hype of the crowd and everything, I think that's something that's cannot bought by the music from the Spotify and everything that I have been enjoying. But this metaverse will scaling the new era of music. For example, like people offline concert is just only limited because the place is limited and everything. Online concerts is unlimited, can be everywhere from the world. But I think the people who really love the musicians will buy the experience. The experience will be much more expensive because it's like the prestige that they want to show. Because I think humans, not irrational animals, we want to have an emotional, sometimes we want to, okay, I don't want to pay for the online concert in Metaverse because I want to be different, I want to be the elite of this one. But sometimes you feel like, okay, like what you say before, I cannot join the concerts in London, I was in Jakarta, I cannot bring all my family, but I want to have the experience. And sometimes I believe like in the future, the offline concert will like mixing between the AR, VR, and the real hype experience. So there will be a lot of market from everything. So I think the metaverse will just make the music business become more scalable. Second one, there will be a lot of new business model around the artist. Because right now, for example, for one concert, you must be like, the artist must be really come to the event. With the metaverse, they just beat the AR there, and people will be very happy, like in Korea right now, right? The Korean K-pop, they just the AR, VR, and people just watching it, screaming. I cannot understand that, but maybe for the people, the value added of this AR, VR experience give it a different things that the humans, the real artists cannot do that. That's why the music industry must redefine why people want to go to the Metaverse concerts, why the real concerts, and what is the value added in different words, so it will not eating to each other from the business models.
Honestly, in my personal opinion, I hope Metaverse can at least beat the way iPod changed the way we consume music. Honestly, I don't believe in that, because I believe whatever in this next generation of internet is happening should not just reimagine what we already have, but kind of disrupt in a true way. And I was recently reading a research by the US military that was published, how they use the Metaverse to work with the existing military and also veterans to tackle the PTSD issues. And also there was a huge application how they train pilots to do on-air fueling. What about like your researches? Like where do you see the Metaverse heading in next 5 or 10 years? Do you think we can today predict, or do you think at least Mark Zuckerberg and Meta, who invest like 14 billion into Metaverse, knows where we are heading? Or is it just like everyone talks about and it's a true bubble?
I think, yeah, I still believe that this will be something really big in the future. But of course, from my research, because I researched a book on the Metaverse ecosystem, especially for Indonesian market, we still need like 5 to 10 years from now, because a lot of infrastructure in the ecosystem is not ready yet. I have a very good research from China. They already do a research like, if you want to have a massive Metaverse adoption, you need 60% of the society already connect with the 5G. That's first thing. And second one, the challenge with the Metaverse is about the IoT. The smart glasses is still too expensive for the average audience. I believe if this IoT is around 200 USD, I believe it will be picked up very soon. But I already researched to the IoT distributor in Indonesia. They feel like, surprisingly, the IoT will not coming from the Korea, Samsung, or China, but the future will coming from India, because the government of India also very ready. They want to have their blueprint that the future of in the Web3 economy, what they want is to produce this IoT, because the margin for that is very big. So let's wait this mass production of this IoT, because I think Metaverse will be a good experience if you use this immersive classes, right? But right now, who wants to pay for like very expensive things? And then the content also is not there, because there is no IoT and not a lot of people is there. So the innovation will be stuck. So it will be, everything is still on the waiting list. But I still believe that it will be very big, because Metaverse can bring something that beyond our imagination. In our physical world, it cannot be done. That's why I still believe it will be happen not very soon, but it will be evolving. And it's always like upgrading, and we never realize that we're already in the Metaverse era.
Perfect. I think then to wrap up this conversation, we can confidently say that Metaverse is still here to stay, but a lot depends on how Web3 will be able to onboard more users, and most probably companies like Pop and others will be very important key players to onboard users from Web2 to Web3 to have an adoption, because still hardware is very expensive, and only like by solving that hardware challenge we'll be able to kind of have this truly immersive AR, VR experience that complements Metaverse. Otherwise, it's kind of a plain Web3 / blockchain changes that we are talking today. Thank you very much for joining me today. We had a beautiful conversation, I believe, and I think we have to still continue talking about Metaverse and how it's going to change our lives. But again, I think the most important challenge for next 5 years will be mass adoption and making billions of the users to come on board, like governments and nations of India and China. I believe they would be like two main drivers because of their population and size, and along with all the, I think, industry experts who tirelessly try to make sure that there's a big onboarding process happening. Thank you very much for today's conversation.
Thank you.
Bye.